Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about how more isn't always better. Now, often when you look at other producers' work, beats, music, you're like, damn, this is so complex, this is so crazy, the bounce is fire. But I'm here to tell you that just because there are more sounds, there's more going on, doesn't mean it's always better, and that you can't make good music, good beats with fewer instruments. And today I'm going to show you. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Alright, here we are, and you can see the project, super simple. Like, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that in this video. You can feel free to keep tally and let me know in the comments below, but yeah, 7 instruments. We're filling up 9 tracks, and yeah, I mean, what you see is pretty much what you get. We're going to go ahead and start with the first sound. I use a Guilt Trip Bank. It's not often I start with a vocal, but in this case I did. Often I turn off all of these effects and add my own, but that's completely up to you. Most of the time I'm not really a fan of the stock effects that it comes with. They're not bad per se, but I prefer my own effects, if that makes sense. We're in F sharp minor, and I've actually pitched up the vocal chops by a full octave. I do this very, very often as well. And it's just playing this very simple pattern. For effects, first up, we've got this narrowband EQ, because when you have vocals on beats, it can tend to take up a lot of room. And if you want an artist on the track, obviously you want to bring that down, create more space for other things to come on, if that makes sense. Next, I have a halftime gross beat, but I brought the mix level down to 38%. And you can hear that when I play the vocals. This underlying low pitch layer that's obviously playing at half the speed. So this is with it on. And this is with it off. It's really good, but I do prefer that extra layer underneath because this is very simple. Next, I just threw on a reverb with these settings. 70% wet level, 47% stereo separation, 4.7 second decay time, so it's quite long on this one. Bumped the room size up to 100 and brought the low cut up to about 500 hertz. And then because the decay time is quite high, I just brought the overall mix level down to about 70% there. And that's the first instrument. Next, I pulled up Addictive Keys, and I threw on this high pass filter like I always do, cutting out the very low frequencies, making room for the 808. And then this is what I've been doing very recently. If you've been watching some of my more recent videos, I'm throwing a stock crystallizer on there and bringing the mix level down to anywhere between 30 and like 10% for a little bit of extra dynamic. It's kind of like a delay slash echo plugin. Obviously it's called a granular echo synthesizer. It's just an interesting type of delay, really stereo, sounds really good. And in terms of the pattern, it's really, really simple. We're in F sharp minor, and we're doing a 1-4 chord progression. We have an F sharp minor chord progression with the third inverted. So you can see this is an F sharp minor chord, and this is a C major chord. Invert the third up, looks like that. You arpeggiate it like so, and then I've just got this little run of notes from the 4th, which is the next chord, so it's sort of foreshadowing, down to the 5th of this chord. And this flam in the middle breaks up the rhythm in a really, like, not unexpected way, but it adds bounce, and I think it sounds really good. And that's just copied over, exact same 4 bars, super simple. Honestly, anyone could make patterns like this. So with those two together, it sounds like this. The next and final instrument technically is this sub bass. I'm using, again, my Race 1 preset. I've used this in a bunch of videos, and it's very simply playing the root notes of the chords from the piano. F sharp for the first 2 bars, B for the next 2 bars. And I just use this in conjunction with the 808. Because I high passed the piano and took out all the sub frequencies, adding a sub in that plays when the 808 isn't playing or when you want some low end. This is a really good and really popular way that these are used. So for example, I've used it in the intro here, and with the piano, it sounds like this. For effects, super simple. I do this on a lot of this sub bass in particular. I really duck the high frequencies and boost around 80 hertz for more sub. And then I throw in Decapitate with the mid driver preset, or sometimes I use a P style and bring the drive up to about 5 or 6. Over this preset, I bring the mix level down to about 65%, that looks like. and you get the sound that you just heard. But yeah, those three instruments are all the melodic instruments. Technically an 808 is a melodic instrument, but we'll get to that next. Speaking of, this is the Never Left 808. This is from Cody's Go To 2021 Volume 2 drum kit. He obviously used this 808 for Lil Tecca's song Never Left, that's why it's called that. And surprise, surprise, it's very simple. We're just, again, using the root notes of the melody, F sharp and B. We're just playing with octave jumps for this second half, and it's just following a very basic 808 bounce. Next, we've got this pre-kick. It's from the same drum kit. This is what the kick and 808 sound like. With the 808, we boosted a little bit of the sub frequencies as well, just because I thought it was lacking a little bit of the sub frequencies for this beat in particular. Got this hi-hat, same drum kit as well as this clap. It's very standard trap sounds. With the hi-hat pattern, we've got a very basic two-step. We've just got some notes deleted, and I've cut these notes, the two-step notes, in half for a little bit of extra bounce every so often, and a regular trap clap pattern. But yeah, altogether, this is what it sounds like. You can see here I've got this render called halftime outro, and all I did basically was just highlight the last 8 bars of this hook. I did mute this riser. The master record, make sure all of your mastering effects are turned off if you've got them turned on. Unless you've just got a soft clipper on there, in which case you can leave that on. But I didn't want my compression, etc. to be on the rendered file, because once it renders and you run it through the master again, it's going to basically double the master effects on that rendered clip, which is not really what you want in this specific scenario. So I turn the mastering effects off, click this little red button, Alt R, and you'll render that out. And what you'll get is a render that looks like this. And then you just select this stretch tool up here, grab the end of it, stretch it out to double the length, and you've effectively got a halftime audio clip. I do this a lot for outros, sometimes intros as well. Sounds super fire and sounds like this. Most of the time I do throw an EQ on this audio clip, cutting out the really low frequencies because it can sound really muddy. What I do is I just select this 20 Hz and 18 kHz, cut, bring this up to about 90 to 100 Hz, maybe a bit lower. And then I scroll my mouse wheel so that it creates a bit of a peak here. So I'm cutting out the low muddy frequencies, and I'm accentuating the sub frequencies that have been shifted down. But yeah, that's literally it for the beat. But yeah, that's going to be it. If you like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content, hit the bell notification bell next time I post a video. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you.